Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. So I want to talk about this concept that you don't actually have to try to be unique because you are unique. I was doing a coaching session with someone. We were talking through ideas for some online content. I offered an idea and their response was, oh, but other people are doing that. How do I make that unique? I could tell that there was a lot going on with that response. The sort of more deeper thing going on. Hold on, before we get into it, Patreon people, thank you. I love you. Thank you for the support. Y'all are the best. Subscribers, hi, I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me every week. If you are interested in coaching support, I am a creative coach and I offer one-on-one support. And I also am doing a group program in January. It's a 30-day challenge to help you grow or launch your YouTube channel. We'll be getting together in a WhatsApp group for daily accountability and check-ins. We'll also have weekly group coaching calls as well as live training. So it's gonna be a good time. And if you're interested, you can sign up with the link in my description box. Okay, back to what I was saying. So I could tell in this person's response to my offer in terms of, oh, like, how do I set myself apart? There's so many people doing that there were a few things going on. One of which was this idea that I am not inherently special, right? Like I really doubt my ability to show up and bring something unique and new and valuable to my audience. And if we don't really feel that, if we don't have a genuine understanding of our own worth and our own value, it gets hard to show up, especially if you're showing up in a way that, you know, you're the measure of your success, whether it's Instagram followers, YouTube subscribers, TikTok followers, like clients, like whatever it is, if you can sort of measure quantitatively the impact you're having, it can be really easy to compare yourself to others who you see as doing way better than you and to say, oh, I guess I'm not really worth it or worthy or valuable because my numbers aren't reflecting the value that I think I should have. And I think what's so tricky about that is that if we look externally, we are kind of looking at a mirror. So it's like if you ever see those mirrors and they just infinitely reflect the same image, that's what it's like if we're looking externally to understand something, because the external is just reflecting our internal world. So as you naturally understand your own value and show up in that value and show up in that worth, it's inevitable that you will find the people who love and appreciate and value that too. But if you yourself are doubting your own value, your external world is going to show that lack of value to yourself. And it's not actually about the number. There are some people who they have a community of 500, followers or subscribers or whatever, and they feel abundant in that. They feel so grateful knowing that they have that kind of love and support. There are people who have 1 million subscribers, 1 million followers, and they constantly, struggle with self-doubt and they constantly ask themselves if what they're doing is even worth it. So it's not actually about the number. And I know a way I've known that for myself is that I always had 100K subscribers as a YouTube benchmark for myself, but I created mini benchmarks in between, right? So like everyone, we start at 0, and my first one, of course, was 100. I was like, once I get 100 subscribers, all right, we're on, we're rolling, right? After that, it was 1,000, of course. And after that, it was 5,000. And 5,000 was a big number for me because I followed a YouTube creator who said that getting those first 5,000 is the hardest. And after you get over that hump, it gets really easy. So I created this story that I really believed in my mind that was, it's gonna be really hard to get to 5K, but after that, it'll be easy. And so I had a video go viral and I flew right on past 5K. Like I didn't even get a chance to even like presence it and like settle and like watch the number get bigger and hit it. It just like flew right up past and then kept on growing. And then I was at 10K and then now here I'm like over 20K. I wish I could say that it mattered. Like I wish it could say that the number being different had some kind of emotional or spiritual tangible difference in my life, and it really doesn't. And I've had so much success at every stage of my growth that I can't even say that like hitting 20K led to all of these new opportunities, like because it's been beautiful this entire time. And yet part of me is still thinking, oh, but once I get to 100, somehow things will be magically different. Which is to say, it's hard if you've been sort of programmed to believe a certain thing and you are very invested in it, and if it sort of motivates you. I made a video where I talked about the difference between inspiration and motivation, and ever since hearing it, it's been so helpful, which is essentially motivation is that external drive to create something versus inspiration being the internal drive to create something. If you are counting on external success to be your motivator, to be the thing that gets you showing up every single day, to realize or to even contemplate the idea that you're not gonna feel any different or be any different once you hit a certain number, can be really scary, because then how else will you do the things that you want to do, or the things that you've told yourself you have to do in order to live your life and ideally not only survive, but to really thrive and have a really beautiful life. So it can be easier to be like, you know what, I'm not even gonna engage with this idea, right? And so that was one thing that I noticed was showing up with this one client, but I could tell that this wasn't the time to get into it. And that's the thing with being a coach, is you gotta know when the fruit is ripe. Because some people aren't really ready to see certain things, and it's for a good reason, you know? So you want to make sure you're resourced before you sort of let certain things come up to the surface. But what I decided to do with this client was really focus on this idea of uniqueness, and this idea that you don't have to try to be unique. Just you being yourself, just the way you see the world, is in itself unique. I've been rereading The Eye of the I, From Which Nothing is Hidden by David Hawkins. It's such an amazingly dense book. It references how the book will raise your consciousness level for like the advanced seekers who end up reading the book or whatever. And I was reading it like, am I an advanced seeker? But I was like, yeah, you're reading this book for the third time, girl. I think you might be really into this. And I'm like, yeah, probably. But what the book said that I thought was so interesting is the idea that every single person is evolving in consciousness. Like, I was hanging out with Michael Beckwith. I'm a big fan of him, but something he said, I was like, that doesn't really resonate, where he said, basically, there's two kinds of people. So duality. He's like, there's two kinds of people. There are the evolved people who like are awake and who get it. And then there are the unevolved people who haven't really connected to the light and don't really realize the unity and all these things. And I was like, I don't think that's true. I think it's just everyone's on their own evolving journey, their own consciousness journey. And we remember what it was like before we got to where we are now. And here we are now, and there are people who are further ahead. And we're just all on the path together, right? And what the Eye of the I book said is that each person is just an example of how consciousness develops within a certain kind of context, within a certain kind of environment, with a certain kind of conditions. Oh, this is how consciousness evolves, essentially. We just are each evolving at our own rate. We each have our own perspective. We each have our own set of circumstances and conditions, and that inherently makes it so that our perspective is unique and is inherently valuable, because no one else can share what we have to share. No one else can say it exactly how we would say it. And I think really understanding that can bring you a lot of peace, because you aren't trying to be you. You are just being you, and you were just relaxing in that. I recorded a video a while ago. I think I'll still upload it, but it's been so long. It's like 2 hairstyles ago, so it's been a while. But I talked about being in my like YouTube girly era, where I'm really just kind of just relaxing and having fun on YouTube, and how there was a creator by the name of Lynette Atkins, and she was reflecting on her channel and how it grew. And she said it grew when she started taking it less seriously, when she just kind of relaxed a little bit and, you know, just let go of that stranglehold and just started, you know, having fun and making what she wanted to make and doing it when she wanted to do it. And it just flowed from there, you know? And I remember when I first heard that, I was like, okay, I have to relax, you know, like I have to flow, you know, like it was still this pressure and this forcing energy, and I didn't really understand what she was saying. But now, and I think it's been like months and months, maybe even over a year since I watched that video, and now I'm like starting to understand it in a much more deeper way, where it's like, no, you really do just relax. And one of the reasons I was really excited about a November challenge where I would upload every single day, and I'm really grateful because I didn't end up uploading every day, but I'm uploading more. So instead of once a week, it's now 2 to 3 times a week. One thing I'm really grateful for is that I'm able to channel more. Like, I wanted to move away from having super tightly scripted videos to just being able to show up on camera and have an idea and just connect to God, and then just let the idea sort of flow out of me. I knew that the more I practiced making videos, the better I'd get at doing that. And I really, really admire, it's usually spiritual teachers and also like creators, you know, who are able to just show up and go. One thing I loved about the spiritual teacher I worked with for a couple of years, we would have week-long trainings. I do not think, I think he maybe have like a high level theme. And I'm sure his team had more outlines and stuff too, but I really think he just sat his ass down and just started talking. I'm sure there was more than that, but that's not how it seemed. And there's this other spiritual teacher, I don't follow him closely, but he referenced how he had like a 6-day event, like 6 full day event. He did not script a single thing. He just got up there and started talking. And I was just like, what? Like I admired and aspired to that because I felt like that really showed that the person was in flow. And with these videos, what I do now is I have a single concept. I have a single idea for this one. It's this idea of, you know, your uniqueness is inherent. You don't have to effort or work for it. And I'm like, let me just sit down and make a video and see how it goes. And what I tell myself too is I'm like, this is practice, you know, this is practice. And if I, of course, don't like the video, I don't have to put it up. No one's making me do anything, right? And what's amazing about that mindset is that it takes one of the barriers out of my way when it comes to creating. Like I'm not showing up thinking, oh, I have to make this perfect video that perfectly captures my uniqueness and then provides insights that make people weep every single time and totally blows their mind and all these things. I would love for that to happen every single time. But by saying instead, you know, actually, I want to practice channeling in my videos, that becomes a much more lighter and much more relaxed way of showing up. And it makes it so that I actually sit down and make a video and actually complete it and put it on the internet. And I feel like what's helped me continue showing up on YouTube year after year after year, I think January 2nd was when I uploaded my first YouTube video of 2017. So the end of this month and January 2nd will mark my 7-year anniversary on YouTube. I think what's really helped me in continuing to show up year after year is a mindset that I've always had, which is I'm creating an archive. I'm creating this library of content. It's not about any particular video popping off. It's about this frequency that I am transmitting across my entire channel. That's why it's called a YouTube channel. It's like, this is the chimney channel. This is the frequency. And what I feel very grateful for, I hung out with a friend last night and she shared me on her Instagram story and she captioned it like basically something about how I'll be a mood uplifter and like a soul filler, something like that. And I love that. I love the idea that people know that if they spend time with me, they are probably gonna leave with their mood being lifted, with their soul being filled. Like that's amazing. And so that's what I want for my YouTube channel. Like no matter the video you watch and at the end, you're just happy and you're smiling and whatever energy I had has been transmitted to you. And I always thought people will find me, they'll find a video, however, either YouTube will send it to them, a friend will send it to them, it'll be random, they'll be searching for it, who knows, but they'll find my channel, they'll connect to my frequency, and if they like my frequency, they'll then binge all my videos. And then I've had people tell me exactly that, where they're like, I've just been binging your videos. And I'm like, great, you know? And that further reduces the pressure on having any one single video do really well. And I put out a video this week and it didn't really do, in my estimation, like it wasn't blockbusters. I think it was at one point, like analytics will tell you it was like the 9th out of like the last 10 videos I'd uploaded. And I noticed having that sort of initial reaction of like, oh, the video isn't doing that well. And so I took it to my gratitude angel and I was like, oh, you know, I'm kind of feeling the way about this video. And their energy was just this sort of smile like, yeah. Like I'm like, the video didn't do as well as I wanted to. And they're just like, And I could tell nothing I was saying was shaking their sense of everything is fine, everything is great, you're great, your channel is great, everything is working out. And to connect to that energy of like, oh, this is not a big deal. This is honestly fine. It's not worth worrying about, was so helpful. And it helped me to just kind of brush it off my shoulder, remind myself what I'm saying to you all, which is like, yeah, it's fine. Like people will watch it. If they're attracted to it, the people who are binging will find it when it's right for them. It's all about the channel. It's all about the frequency. It's all about the archive. Let's make another video and let's have fun while we do it. I feel really grateful to have that perspective and I want to share that perspective in case it can be helpful for you if you're someone who is creating online or creating in some other way and you find yourself kind of pushing up against that feeling of, is this worth doing for whatever reason you have, whether Is it unique enough? Is it gonna provide enough value? Is it gonna da-da-da-da? Whatever your thing is, I'm hoping this video will give you a bit of a reminder that, you know, truly just showing up for its own sake is so much fun. You are inherently unique. You do not have to effort. Let it flow. Everyone who finds you will be grateful that you did. That's the video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think makes you unique? I'd be curious what your answer is. If you wanna join me in January for a month of YouTube creativity, let me know in the comments, sign up with the link, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.